We're gonna look at the results by the country because this is parliament results. They just already, do the alliances and stuff but they do not show like which party is going to be where. So let's just go by the party. We got Germany. Okay, I think this is good enough. You should be able to see it quite clearly how many votes each party got. So they even show parties here, like the groups where these parties go. I don't care much. So we got Germany, 96 seats. We got CDU and CSU, 30% votes. Yeah, CDU is basically back after, the Merkel retired. And after they were getting some better, they're pretty much back because of the SPD and Greens doing absolutely horrendous job in, governing Germany. Alternative für Deutschland got 15.6% of votes. This could have ended up much worse for the Germans. Fortunately for them, like the alternative just kept doing blunders, and a lot of people woke up that this is not a alternative for Deutschland. This is like alternative for hell. And the new party, Bündnisreihe Wagenknecht, a new party that formed up like some 2 or 3 months ago, seems to have got 5.7%. It's good to see there are some new parties in Germany, on the rise. They definitely need that because these like 5 they got there are not good enough. They need some change. They need new blood in there. Overall, I think it's okay for Germany. Like the alternative completely flopped. Honestly, like they at one point they were getting like 23 to 24% in the polls. Then they just then people actually start taking interest in them and realize just what this party is about. So next up, we got France. As expected, Rassemblement National (RN) won the elections, 31.5% of votes. That is massive. Even before the elections were officially announced, before the results were officially announced, Macron said there are going to be new elections. He capitulated finally and decided, to call for the early elections. A good move, very good move. It's good to see they will not just stay there till the end of their mandate, because it is obvious that the people are not happy with his government. Even in polls, like in the recent weeks, his popularity was going down. I said sometimes that it's stupid, his way of going for the European Parliament, by being so hawkish about Russia. People did not like it, the opposition did not like it, neither the left, neither the right. Both sides were going at him, saying like the things he said are stupid and very irresponsible about sending the French troops to the Ukraine, or just even playing with the idea of Ukraine joining the NATO. Everybody was calling him out that it's very irresponsible. So Rassemblement National won. We'll see how they're gonna do in the election. I think they could theoretically get up to 33 to 34% of votes, as long as they don't do any blunder or do not have any scandal. Also, they should probably, keep Marine Le Pen from the party and just let the new young leader, Jordan Bardella. We already talked about him here before to probably handle it. I mean, hopefully he is a skillful, debater and politician in general. He's young, so I mean, that skillful is an operative war, although it's young and that's good. I'm not sure how old he is actually. I'm gonna Google it for you. There we go. I'm gonna have to also restart the. There you go, Jordan Bardella, the president of the National Association. Yeah, he was getting he got promoted. Member of the European Parliament since 2019. He's basically the new face of the Rassemblement National. 28 years old, very young. And this is very what the French people actually are looking for, somebody young there. I mean, if Marine Le Pen does debate with Macron, then I expect the RN is going to get about 29 to 28%, maybe even lower. Because people still in France, there are still a lot of people in France who do not really like Marine Le Pen. And I mean, she could see that, in both of those elections, she didn't do particularly well. It wasn't a close race. Macron won with ease. And the left was doing, let's see, the left was doing somewhat okay. Definitely not as good as they would probably want. A lot of these voters from Macron went to the RN. It's going to be an interesting upcoming months. What about Italy? Fratelli d'Italia won with 28.6%. That is a bit of a disappointment for them. I saw they were having about 30 to 31% in the polls area, but yeah, like Meloni lost definitely popularity in the recent months or in the last year. Definitely, I remember her. She was relatively popular. She had above 50% approval, but nowadays she has about 45% approval, I believe, or something around that. She has about 50+% disapproval, if I remember correctly. So while it seems that even though this party is still doing good, they must be definitely disappointed because they probably expected a bit more. The Partito Democratico, the left, got 26% votes. That's a lot. I know Lega Salvini, the third one, and the fifth one, Forza Italia. They are both in the coalition with Fratelli d'Italia. Both got 8.8%, but Lega Salvini got one more seat. I'm not sure how it works in Italy, but this seems a bit off. That seems pretty strange. And then you have this Movimento 5 Stelle. I'm not sure who they are with, but they got 9.7% votes, but also 7 seats. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how it works in Italy. But then again, I mean, look at the, Greens and Bayard had 2 times. That seems like a bug, but whatever. Okay, so they are only 1 time, so the Greens. Otherwise, anyone interesting? There was a big coalition here, 3.2%, complete failure. A lot of coalitions actually in the, going for the European Parliament, it seems. Participation was very low actually, 48%. That's not very low. That's still much higher than my own country, but I mean, this is definitely strange to see, especially in this day and age. Germany, for instance, got 64% participation, so that's almost 16% more, almost 16%, yeah. And France got 51%, a bit of an uptick. So it is strange, like minus 6%. That's definitely strange that the Italians were not interesting in the European Parliament, and it's very strange because European Parliament is influencing your life more and more every day, and a lot of people, cry about cry about European Parliament doing stuff they don't like, but then when they have chance to actually change it, they just don't. They just don't vote. And this is what it ends. So, they won't change, vote. Maybe it's people think it's everything is corrupted, so and their vote is not going to get counted because it's pre-arranged elections and the results were already chosen, or any other conspiracy theory. Who knows? I don't speak idiot. In Spain, Partido Popular won. They surpassed the Partido Socialista, the Socialists, by exactly 4%. A big win for the Partido Popular, which is in opposition. The rightist party, Vox, got 9.6%. I remember they also were polling around 14% at some point. It seems they probably had their own share of scandals, and people woke up and realized it is probably not a good party. That's what I assume. I do not know anything about Vox, and I just can't bring myself to actually research it. Otherwise, nobody even reached the 5%. Coalition Ahora Republicas was very close, also the left. However, yeah, the left and some... Oh no, those are the same. What the heck, this is very confusing political. But whatever. Okay, so the Greens leftists got almost 5%. Oh my god, 49.2, which wouldn't be that bad if the previous participation wasn't 60%. That is a massive tick downwards. I wonder what it caused, strange, very strange. I really wonder what it could cause, that is minus 11.5%. That is insane. That's very strange. That is very strange that a lot of people just decide not to vote, and it is their fault. Although, on the other hand, it is definitely then it brings question marks on just if they could pull it off again. Although, still, one would expect, the people would be interested to have their say in the European Parliament, because it is made of people's elected candidates, representatives. Very strange. What about Poland? Well, Prawo i Sprawiedliwość, Prawo i Sprawiedliwość, Suwerena Polska, or PiS, won. They got less votes but more mandates. Don't ask me how it works, I have no idea. I really don't know why did they got 2 more seats with less votes. I think it probably works different in Poland, again. And it's kind of a sad reality that 37 people are going to, the votes of 37% people are worth less than votes of other 36% votes. It is very strange. Konfederacja, Wolność i Niepodległość, Confederation, 11.8% votes. That is just dreadful. That party has a lot of definitely their own share of questionable people in it, who say that certain people who are very open about the women's rights. Yeah, Poland also has quite a bit of extremists who would love to see women lose all their rights. And who say opinions like, yeah, the world is fucked because women has rights. Yeah, those people. Those kinds of people. The left wing got 6.6%. I mean, Waku, they only got like 6 seats with that 11.8% votes. Coalition 2050 got 7.3% votes. Then there's, what the heck is this? This doesn't seem right. This probably an error, mistypo. And coalition, yes. And turnout 40.2%. Okay, that would probably explain why the Confederation got so many of votes when people do not vote from the main parties. Also very shameful that, only 40%. And they should stay for actually, voting for the people they think are going to influence the politics the best. But hey, it's their choice. Next up, I'm gonna show countries. We got Romania. I know actually nothing about Romania. So there's PSD, PNL. So here they got 13 seats and 53% votes. Here they got 8 seats and 53 votes. How does that count? How does that add up? I have no idea. I'm gonna assume like it is probably this and this. Otherwise, I have no idea. I don't know anything about the Romanian parties. I'm not really interested. I know there's Andrew Tate there, and that's about everything I know about Romania. And I know they're corrupted. But they are very interesting elections. I have no idea. I don't understand anything here. 52.4%. A little bit more of people voted. That's good. That is very good for Romania. That the people are getting more interested in the EU. They should. Next up, we got Netherlands. Also, one of the Netherlands was on the hot watch list of many journalists and pretty much many politicians in the Europe. They got their own, a farmers party going there, gaining votes. So this was definitely interesting to see the results, and I think they won. Yeah, the party for the Vrijheid. I don't know. I don't know if the Netherlands the Dutch works the same as the German. Therefore, I'm not going to try. They got 6 seats with 17.7% of votes. The other parties got less. They got less seats, so the farmers seems to have won. 17.17% of votes seems it's alright. I guess it's pretty right. Although I did think I saw them have like even 20% at some point. Maybe I'm mistaken it though. I don't know many about the Dutch politics, so I'm gonna skip this and I'm gonna talk about my country. Bigger turnout, that is very good. 46.9%, that's very good to see that people are also getting more interested in the Dutch politics. In the European politics in the Netherlands. Very important. Europe, as I said before, Europe has an influence. The European Union has an influence on your life. Vote so you can influence it. So you can have your say in it. Belgium. New Vlaamse Alliantie, Vlaams Belang, Movement Reformateur. I do not know anything. I'm not sure who is whom. I know there are Flemish parties and then there are the Wallonian parties. you couldn't. I could not possibly know who is who. I think Flemish has more of those. The Flemish are the northern Belgium, with more of Dutch leaning people, if that makes any sense, and Walloonians are more French leaning people who are closer to the French language and culture. What about turnout? 89.2%, although I believe the elections are mandatory in Belgium, and you have to have some sort of a good excuse why did you not vote. Yeah, like mandatory elections. I'm cringing at the thought. Like there's one thing, just trying to get your participation up. However, doing it by ordering people to vote, otherwise they're gonna get fined, is just beyond me, and I do not understand why shit like this is even allowed. Like if people do not want to vote, it's their thing. Right? This is just, I mean, I cannot read anything from it. It's stupid. Should be cancelled. But whatever. What can we do? And now we'll go to my good with the counting. So what happened here? Anno 2011 won the strongest party. However, they definitely underperformed quite a bit. They have about, I believe, 31% in polls, around that. 26% their voters simply did not care about the EU, which is very funny considering a lot of, I do not know any of their voters, although I know a lot of their voters definitely are very skeptical about the EU and do not like EU in general, so one would expect they would actually vote for, their party to actually do something in EU. I don't know. People are just lazy. The coalitions poll 22.3%. Those are three parties in one. That's pretty good result for them. 22.3%. A lot of people have been very critical about their governance. A lack of communication and general incompetence. Still, they somehow managed to get 22%. Although I do not really like their governance. Then again, I did not enjoy the Anno 2011 governance that much either. Third was a coalition Přísaha and Motorista, or the what do you how to translate it into English? The first Přísaha means when you are in court and you swear on the God, on the Bible, that it means, the thing you do. Yeah, I swear by my one and only God that I will speak truth and only truth. So the thing you do in the court, that is Přísaha. Motorista means people who like cars. Yeah, it's just people who like cars with the fuel engine and do not want EU to ban manufacturing car manufacture with those engines, with the fuel engines. So yeah, that a lot of people are definitely angry at EU for doing the fit for and not fit for, that they want to ban those cars by 2035. As I said before, I prefer smart regulations. Therefore, banning does not make much sense for me. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, and then no, it's good. Coalition statue. Those are communists. Yes, communists somehow got 9.6% votes in the European election. Fuck. As you could probably hear, I'm not a big fan of communists. I know they were doing relatively good in the polls, same as the pre-Saha. However, I did not expect them to do this well. Oh my god. They got 2 mandates as well. The other was the mayors and famous people for Europe or starostové osobnosti. They got 2 mandates as well. Their potential was much higher, however, they even managed to get a former presidential candidate on their roster, like a woman, so therefore there were many people who would vote for the mayors just because woman. Yeah. That's what pretty much happened, like. Woman people vote. Yes, that's how some people works in the Czech Republic. Unfortunately, I think the mayors are the second worst party in the government. The only other party that is even worse are the Christians, who are complete disaster, and I would love them to fucking disband. And now we go to the one mandate side. Only 2 of them. The Czech Pirate Party. That's a massive disappointment for them. In polls, they were doing around 11%. No turnout at all. Complete disaster. And if the capital city of Prague did not clutch them, they would probably end up below 5%, most likely. The other party that fell was SPD, which is not the German SPD. No, this is a right-wing party, and Tricolora. Tricolora is basically what you call those 3 colors on the French flag, like what people sometimes call it. So that is Tricolora. The Czechs and the French has the same colors in their flags, national flags. Therefore the name. 5.7%. Oh, I'm definitely very happy with this one. This is very funny. Oh yeah, this is very funny. What is really funny though is that they are talking anti-immigration. They are very anti-immigration or illegal migration. However, their leader is a Japanese. What is even more funny is that he has a brother who is in the Christians party. Yes. You got the Japanese who is anti-immigration. That sounds like an oxymoron, but it is a reality. And then you got his brother who is Christian, and both are Japanese, or have Japanese surnames. However, I do not believe they are in any way related to the Imperial Japanese General Okamura though. I don't think they are. That would have been very interesting twist. And then some other parties, but we do not care about them. Oh yeah, the Social Democrats got clapped. I'm very happy to see that. The Greens got 1.6%, unfortunately. Party of Free Citizens. I have no idea what this is. PRO. Which is of this guy. They got 2.2%. Some polls were giving them 5%, but they flopped. I do not mind at all. And the participation was 36.45%, which is not a lot again. Although 7.7% uptick, which is very good actually. The lowest participation was 14.4% in 2014. People were very skeptical about EU, I guess, or they just simply did not care. That's maybe why the communists ended up with like 10 or 11% as well. Although I do not understand how did they got 9.6% again. Like I simply do not understand. And I'm very angry about that. But I'm very happy about this. And I'm very laughing about this. This could have been also closer to the 5% I would be laughing to. This is okay. This is okay result for them. Although they'll be angry that they lost to communists and to the automobile guys. Oh well. Well, their former presidential candidate was a complete flop in the debates. Like, she was useless. She was very taking it emotionally. Also, she was laughing at people at times, which that could be definitely translated to an arrogance in people's eyes. However, this party is built on an arrogance towards other people, other voters. They built their party about the arrogance in the last months. You know, they were live streaming, debates with people and basically roasting them. Which is, I mean, like, I wouldn't really mind. However, it would seem that they were going definitely more conspiracy-like people who do not represent this country. And all they were doing was roasting them, and it was pretty disrespectful. Was very disrespectful for politicians to do so. Politicians should be dignified and should not be acting like complete brats. Hopefully this party will go below 5% in the near future. I do not like them at all. And this party could go below 5% as well. I will not mind. This is funny. I do not mind this party. However, this is very funny. And so, I mean, if they stay around 6%, I won't mind. I will have a good laugh every election. So yeah, we got Greece. I don't know anything about Greece. New democracy. I'm not sure if it's a new party. I know Greece is quite leftist. Sorry about that. Or they used to be quite leftist in the polls. I cannot say anything about it. I do not know any of the parties. I know Greece still has that massive debts, I believe. I still remember that Greece debt crisis in the last decade, or maybe it was even before, I'm not quite sure. I remember a lot of European countries were lending money to Greece so they did not fall of wild times. 41.25% and 17.44 different. That is insane. More than almost 18% people thought it was not, worth it to vote. I'm definitely flabbergasted. Like, this is a massive change. I guess people are going more skeptical of the EU, or they just do not care. And this is just insane. And I believe the elections were on the weekends as well. Therefore, there's no excuse for such a major downtick. And next up, we got Hungary. And after that, we're gonna take a look on Sweden and call it a day. So, Hungary, Orbán, obviously. 44.3%. That's a bit of a disappointment for them. I think the ideal result would be at least 46%. It's not that much big of a difference, although Orbán is still popular there, very much there. His popularity is always around those 45% or 46%. Things doesn't seem to be changing at all there. And there were multiple coalitions to take him down, to take his party down. All of them failed. The question is how further can he actually rule? I believe he's pretty old at this point. So that leaves a question like who's going to rule after him. Maybe that will be the chance for the other parties to take their chances. But yeah, they did not win the absolute majority, so I think it could be, viewed as a minor failure. Ooh, 58.54%. That's a 15% uptick. That's a big change. Damn. Okay, it seems a lot more people were actually interested about the EU. And I think it definitely makes sense because EU was withholding a funds for Hungary for some time, I believe. The European Commission or someone like that. Mm, It was, I think it was because of the war in Ukraine that they were withholding. However, Orban then did some, I believe, some negotiating to stop blocking the EU support for Ukraine, so the weapon shipments eventually start rolling. Okay, I'm gonna check Portugal. I'm gonna see Portugal's. Again, versus socialist. Chega means enough. Hmm. Eight. Okay, let's take a look on Sweden. Social Democrats had only 25% of votes. Wow, that's quite low. Although the moderates and the Swedish Democrats got only 30% in total, which is a pretty big failure for them. If you don't know, the moderates and the Swedish Democrats rule Sweden. They got elected, I believe it was like 2 years ago. They beat the former party, Social Democrats of Magdalena Andersson, and made a government. This is definitely a favor for them. And the Social Democrats also did not perform as expected. They had or still have around 35% in the polls, in the national polls. So I mean, this could be viewed as a definite disappointment. However, I believe they would make, if these were the national elections, they would just make a coalition with the Greens. Therefore, they do not very much care, and the center party and the left party, and they would secure a pretty clean majority. 50%, definitely not as much voted as the last time. Still, 50% is pretty decent. Also, there were Austria. I think this is the party that people talk about, the right-wing party. Yeah, it is spelled because of the group ID, identity, or something like that. Die Freiheitliche Partei Österreich. 25.7% of votes. So I believe this party had significantly outperformed. I'm gonna take a look. Pulse of polls. Yes, sir. Austria 80. Oh no. Oh no, actually not. They were. They were actually doing well for a long while now. So I do remember. Yeah, this is I remember. Yeah, they were. No, I didn't never check it. That's pretty strange though. Huh. Okay, I definitely. Okay, so they've been doing well for a long while now. Although they do poll 29%, so this is a bit of a disappointment. Where are you here? Well, more than 6% of people did not vote it, so only 54.1% participation. So a lot more people did not care this time around. So I think it's very good result for them to win the European elections. Although they probably were expecting a little bit more. Still, 26% is good, and they won the most seats. Is there anyone other? Oh yeah, let's look on Slovakia. Progresívne Slovensko or the progressive Slovakia won. Almost 28% of votes, although only 34% people voted that as well. Still, it is an almost 12% uptick from the last time. Good to see that the people in Slovakia are also getting more interested in the European Parliament. I mean, that a lot of people are very skeptical about the European Union and they do not like it, and a good portion of them will just leave the Union at the whim. But still, this is a low participation. And a lot of them, cry, but they do not vote. Therefore, they cannot change anything. Okay, and it seems that I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna see if somebody actually arrived.